Hello guys, my name is William Potter. Someone brought in a great question here the other day, and I wanted to let everyone know what the actual answer to it was. And the question was, do you own your phone number? It's a great question. The answer to that one could either be yes and no. There's different precautions you can make to make sure that the number is yours. There are certain regulations and laws in place to protect you and your identity, which also includes your phone number. Um, the yes way is as long as you keep your name and your number registered to you, then you'll be good to go. Wanted to point out a few things. Oh, if I get the computer to respond. Can you lose your phone number? Fortunately, the answer is yes. But the FCC does require that all phone companies allow you to have an option to port your number out, usually to geographical locations. If you in one city and you're moving down the road, then you could port it over to another provider if it's not available in one area but is in the other. That doesn't apply if you move in from California to Texas, then that would be out of the geo area. There are ways to get it to transfer over. Like me, I have a vanity number. I've spent a lot of money into that number. I've moved a lot, so I make sure my number goes with me no matter what. Um, if you want to keep your number and you are moving, it's as easy as just contacting your current provider. Make sure all of your billing information, your address is current. Go ahead and contact them. Say, hey, I'm moving. Give them your new address and have it put on file. And then once you move, contact your new provider. Say, hey, I'm porting in my number. Here's where it's coming from. Here's the account number. Here's my PIN. Now, if it's a mobile number, usually it's the MEID, ESN, and your PIN is usually your unlock code or whatever. A ways to avoid you can lose your number. Make sure the number is registered to you. A lot of mobile carriers, such as Straight Talk, you can activate your phone and number without even giving them your name. If you want to keep that number, contact the company. Say, hey, my name is such and such. Here's my address. Please put it on file so that number is registered to me. If you move providers, contact your current provider. Let them know you're porting it. They'll give you your account number or PIN to do so. If you're moving from Straight Talk to Verizon, Alltel, which isn't around no more, but get your account number. Tell them you're porting it over to another one. Even if you're moving out of state, tell them you want to keep the number. You do not want to lose it. Some companies do not allow out of area codes, so make sure you contact them. Ask them, hey, I'm moving over from a different location. I love my phone number. Don't want to change my area code. Will you let me have it? Most companies will take it. CenturyLink and everyone's usually the most common ones. They don't care. As long as all your accounting information matches up to where you're going now, they don't have a problem. There is a FCC local rule. You are legally able to keep your number even when you move or change phone companies. Like I said, most companies will allow no problem. There are other ways around that. Usually most companies will charge a port fee, but the company cannot decline you to port your number if there are fees associated with it. To get started with your port, it's pretty simple. This is on the FCC website. You can Google it, FCC porting to keep your number, and it will pretty much pull this one up. Keeping a number when you change providers is pretty simple. Have your account, your PIN number, your bill that you owe. You don't have to pay that balance to transfer your number. There's no termination fees. Port your number out and don't have to worry about it. If you ain't got the money, don't pay it. The worst thing you'll do is ruin your credit. If you're like me, your credit's already ruined anyway. A company cannot refuse you to port your number because you have not paid for porting. A company, when I had my number with Verizon, there's like, hey, it's a $20 port fee. We can't port your number without you paying it. I opened my port. Verizon couldn't decline me because I didn't pay for it. It was an open port. They had to honor it. It's FCC policy. FCC is pretty known. If they violate the policy, you just file a report with the FCC saying, hey, these people didn't abide by your policy. What am I going to do? They'll open the dispute, tell them, hey, you owe them the port. You got to do it. Contact both of the companies, let them know you're porting it. How long does it usually take for a port? Mine usually takes between a few minutes to a few hours. Some companies, like Verizon, they will eat you for a month, maybe 2 months, and then you might get it. There is some instances that you'll have both of the phones active at the same time. Now, when you do your port, but when you port into your new provider, it does not automatically cancel your old one. So make sure you contact them and cancel the account. As a lot of people do forget that and end up getting another prorated bill. A lot of times the 911 fee will work and won't work. It all depends on what carrier you're on. Now, if there are companies that will allow you to home your number, which allows you to put the number with them to keep it with them, there are 2 companies I would suggest. One is one that usually most people will know, which is Google Voice. Google Voice has a port forwarding that you call the number and then it'll forward the calls to your phone. It's the one that I would recommend. It's usually the best. But they do have a $20 port fee up front. There's no monthly fees or nothing. It's easy to set up. Once you pay, it's ported in, you're good to go. You'll go through, set up your voicemail, your PIN number, the numbers you want to port to, and so far I've had up to 20 phones that you could do call forwarding on, and it is amazing. It also does enable text messaging. Also no fees. Picture messaging, everything's enabled. Love it. There's another one that I also recommend, which is NumberBarn. NumberBarn I've dealt with once or twice. It's about $2 a month. The number stays with them. You can port it out anytime. It's pretty much a safe place to keep your number. If you don't plan on using it, then NumberBarn is the best to use for it, because you'll be able to keep it there. Make sure you pay them. It's an easy $5 setup fee. And all you do is verify your number, like this one, 888. If the number can be ported, it'll pop up. Your number can be ported. It'll take between 3 to 10 days, which usually they'll lock it where it can't be used. And then whenever you want to do it, you'll port it back out. If you do end up getting into something that you can't port, you'll get one of these that says that it's not supported in that area. This was just a random number. Don't worry, guys, it ain't my number, so don't be calling me in the middle of the night. You'll get one of these messages that says it can't be done. That's when I recommend going over to Google Voice. If you want to avoid the fees, monthly fees and everything, Google Voice is the best. I use them all the time. It's a great place to get phone numbers too. Anyway, you do own your number. If you don't pay your bill and you don't keep a contact to make sure the number is registered to you, then yes, you don't own it. As long as you keep the contact information, your name, your address on file, then you'll own it. You can take that number no matter where you go. Port it from one carrier to another. As long as you pay what you need to pay, you won't lose it. If you do end up getting into a bill, port it out to somewhere else. If you really love your number and don't want to lose it, port it over to Google Voice. Use it as a forwarding number. You can call from it into it. You can even download the app and call from your phone. Use it on hundreds of phones. Whatever you need to do. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did and it did help, please smash a like. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Anyway, I'll catch you later, guys.